Live from your election headquarters, this is the 8 News Now Daily Voting Guide.
2 women are competing to be the next Henderson City Councilwoman, Trish Nash and Carrie Cox, running for the open Ward 3 seat. This is a nonpartisan race. Joining me now is Trish Nash, live in studio on 8 News Now, and we appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Let's get right into it. Tell us about your experience as a realtor and how it would potentially help you on the city council.
I see why people move to our city,
Yes.
why people move and why they don't move. And so I know what it is that makes our city great. Secondly, being a business owner, I think, has a real advantage. I've had a very successful business in the 20 years I've been doing this. I feel that strong business background is important when you are looking at a city of our size and the fiscal responsibility that a city council person has. But more importantly, development is a big part of it. What is good development? What is bad development? So those are all things that I think are very important in what I bring to the table.
A lot of moving parts in business, just as in politics and leadership. Now, your opponent says your real estate business will require you to recuse yourself on property and zoning issues. Do you have an answer to that, or do you have any opinion on that claim by your opponent?
Well, I can't think of one reason why I would need to recuse myself. When there's a conflict, it's because there's some type of a financial interest, such as I'm being employed by somebody or I have some financial gain, and I can't think of one reason why I would have to recuse myself. So that I don't know.
Let's go to safety. Henderson, years ago, was in Forbes magazine within the past decade is the 5th safest city in America. It gets a lot of those types of rankings. And yet you list public safety as a need to improve and really as a priority for you. How does Henderson become safer? What needs to be improved along those lines?
Well, the reason public safety is important for me, number one, is because, as we talked about earlier, that is one of the reasons why people move to Henderson, is because they feel that it's a safe place to raise a family. And I want to ensure that we continue to keep it being a safe place. We have seen throughout the nation, we've seen a rise in crime.
Yes. And
it is just critical that we continue to keep our city safe and that we put a priority of public safety. 60% of our general fund goes to public safety. It's important. I was very fortunate. I applied to go through the 12 weeks of Citizens Police Academy, and it really opened my eyes on what is involved with public safety within Henderson.
What was the biggest challenge of that 12-week program?
The biggest challenge was it was in the midst of the primary election. And it was 12 weeks. It was a big commitment, but I learned a lot, and I would recommend anybody go through that.
The kids in Henderson, the school kids, do you want to potentially break away from CCSD? What's your take there?
I feel that what has happened as a result of COVID is that a very bright light was being shined on our education system, and a lot of parents saw what they didn't like within our school system. Education is a priority for people moving to Henderson. What I find is oftentimes people will look at the fact that we're ranked number 49 in the nation in education, and they will say, you know what, I don't think that Nevada has education as a priority, so therefore we will not be moving here. Yeah, I will point out to them that Henderson has the highest ranking schools in CCSD, but that still isn't good enough for them, so they will choose not to move to our city. So I feel that if we could opt out, as other municipalities may choose to do so through the Community Schools Initiative, that I think that that would be a good thing for our community. There's a lot of moving parts to it, and it's going to take some time, but I do overall think that it will be good.
Final minute of our interview. What is the importance of veterans issues to you? You talk about that being a priority for you.
My dad was a veteran. He went through a very difficult time in his life, ended up homeless. My mom and dad were divorced. And I see that it is so critical that we support our veterans. There's a program in Henderson called Veterans Treatment Court. I've been very involved in that. And I just want to ensure that the veterans are prioritized in our city, and they have been, but I just want to continue to prioritize them.
Thank you for speaking on that and answering all the questions here. Trish Nash, thank you for being here for
Thank you.
Henderson City Councilwoman. A busy 3 weeks ahead for you, I'm sure.
Yes.